The Making of an A Player, Lessons from Lauren LaRosa and Mr. Beast. Almost a year ago, media personality Lauren LaRosa, then best known for her work as a correspondent on TMZ, fell out publicly with comedian Jess Hilarious. Jess Hilarious rose to fame through viral sketches and later became a co-host on The Breakfast Club. The tension began when Jess Hilarious felt that Lauren LaRosa was being disloyal. This happened because just as soon as Jess Hilarious was made co-host in The Breakfast Club, she had to go on maternity leave, and she selected Lauren LaRosa to fill in her role. What happened is when Jess Hilarious came back, Lauren LaRosa continued to appear on the show. So Jess interpreted that as an attempt by the executives to sideline her and give her position to Lauren LaRosa. So what started out as behind-the-scenes friction soon spilled out into social media, where both women traded indirect jabs at each other. As podcast clips, interviews, and fan commentary added fuel to the fire, their private disagreement evolved into a widely discussed online feud. I remember thinking at the time when I read the comments from viewers who thought that Lauren LaRosa was being the kind of scheming coworker you find in the corporate world. You know, someone who goes behind your back to undermine you just to make themselves look better. At the time, I thought, well, you guys clearly have no idea what it takes to be an A player. After all, Lauren LaRosa did nothing behind Jess Hilarious's back. She didn't secretly lobby the executives at the radio station to justify staying in the role. Instead, what Lauren LaRosa did was become a listener favorite by simply doing an outstanding job. Months later, Lauren would prove this further when she demonstrated her work ethic covering the Sean Combs/Diddy trial. Her dedication was unmistakable, too, when she later read all 38 pages of the Drake versus Kendrick Lamar or Drake Universal lawsuit decision, prompting Jess Hilarious to say, "Wait, you read all that?" Lauren exemplified what it means to be an A player by owning her work, prioritizing excellence, and continuously learning. She earned respect without playing office politics. Now, admittedly, I had only started to create what I believe are the three things that make you an A player. One major reason for low performance isn't a lack of desire to perform well. It's simply not knowing what it takes to excel. This is why in my article on work ethic in the age of AI, I emphasize that having a boss, a coach, or a parent can be one of the best ways to develop the kind of work ethic that it takes to have real success. I developed the elements of work ethic after watching an episode of The Diary of a CEO with Stephen Bartlett, where he was interviewing Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast, whose real name is Jimmy Donaldson, is a massively popular YouTuber and entrepreneur known for creating high-budget challenge videos, large-scale philanthropic stunts, and attention-grabbing social experiments. Before watching that episode of Diary of a CEO, I had only heard of Mr. Beast's name from my teenage children and dismissed him as just another silly social media obsession they had. After that episode, though, I became a real fan of Mr. Beast. I learned about Mr. Beast's remarkable work ethic and unwavering commitment to success and excellence. That's also when I discovered his employee handbook, and it was there that I truly began to understand what it means to be an A player. Based on my reading of Mr. Beast's employee handbook, here are the key factors that I now define as an A player. Number one, ownership. You fully own the delivery of your project and take whatever measures are necessary to ensure it meets the set standards or that satisfies your client. In this context, the client is anyone to whom you are delivering the project. Ownership means communicating clearly with everyone in the pipeline whose work your delivery depends on, so they understand the stakes and the deadlines that you have and face. It means building in buffers for contingency, not simply relying on the person whose work your delivery depends on to be done on time or to be done well. Instead, what you do is you proactively manage the workflow by checking in periodically to ensure progress. Now, this is just an illustrative list. It is not an exhaustive list. I'm sure you get the idea of what it is to own the delivery. Number 2 is priority. Your work must be either your first, second, or at least your third priority. This acknowledges that there are personal commitments like your spouse, your children, your faith. All of those will compete for attention. Prioritization shows in the time you spend and the focus you give to the work, meaning you are constantly thinking, learning, or actively progressing on it. Number 3, continuous learning. You don't have to be perfect, but you must be committed to constant learning. This comes through failure, actively seeking mentorship, relentlessly educating yourself, and staying on top of the latest trends. If you are prioritizing your work properly, continuous learning will naturally flow. Completing these 3 steps does not make you an A player, however. That only gets you to be a B player. An A player goes further. They have the experience that allows them to teach the job to others rather than having to be taught the job. But don't fret, starting as a B player is perfectly fine. That's the starting point for anyone who is trying to build the career capital that Cal Newport says is the prerequisite to being so good they can't ignore you.